Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada Dip CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BellyUp20 at CanadaDipCBD.com. Once again, BellyUp20 at CanadaDipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canada Dips for being a great partner of BellyUpSports. CONMEBOL, South America, obviously they have made their decision in what happened in the semifinal Copa America. So if you guys don't know what happened in Copa America, a fight broke out after the semifinal between Uruguay and Colombia. Uruguayan players took to the stands, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is unprofessional. This team, uh, it was just not a good look in general, right?" And that was weird. So getting back into this, so players broke out. There was some frustration from Uruguay. Obviously, it was a very contested match. It was a 1-0 win for Colombia, and they moved on to the final where they lost to Argentina. But so things got heated at the end of the game, and then the Uruguayan players ended up going to the stands. The section that they went specifically was the family and friends section, where all the Uruguayan family and friends were at. And from what it was appearing, it seemed from what we were being told, it was that some of the Colombian fans were attempting to attack that section. And so then obviously the Uruguayans went over there to protect their family and friends, which I as someone that values my, and not as I don't want to say value my family, but I mean, yes, I do value my family, but I mean, what I'm saying is that as someone, I can kind of understand that part, right? Hey, that's my, I'm gonna protect my family. Family comes first. Like, fuck all this shit. Don't touch my family, kind of thing. But at the same time, obviously, you kind of want cooler heads to prevail here. You want to make sure security is top notch, and I think just you would hope that fans could be cordial, and that's never the case in south of the border. And yeah, it was concerning. It obviously didn't look good. Some people were thinking that Uruguay was just being salty after losing to Colombia. But then as soon as they mentioned that part about the family, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I totally get it." A lot of people changed their tunes, and I mean, respectively so. I think everyone would have that same mentality if they felt that their family was endangered. But obviously, still at the end of the day, it's not professional. It's not a good look for them, for players going out and attacking fans. Because once again, we're not entirely sure what exactly happened. We're just being told what the player saw, and so we still haven't. At least I haven't gotten that other side of the story. But still not a good look for them. But obviously, CONMEBOL needs to make a decision as to punishing these players, and so they decided to put bans and fines on players. And so here are who was punished. Darwin Nunez was the one that got the biggest punishment. He is banned for 5 games for Uruguay and was given a $20,000 fine. Rodrigo Bentancur has 4 games and a 16,000 fine. And Matias Oliveira, Ronald Rajo, Jose Maria Jimenez all got 3-game suspensions with $12,000 fine each. And of course, there was also 7 other Uruguayan players. They did not list them, but they also were fined $5,000 each. But that's a lot of those are a lot of significant matches. Uruguay is currently second place in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers. Their next 5 matches include Paraguay, at Venezuela, at Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. I think I think essentially I think Uruguay will be fine. Will be just fine. I think the key missing the big losses is Ronald Araujo and Jose Maria Jimenez. Just because of what they play in positionally. I think Matias Oliveira is also another big loss. Darwin Nunez, obviously, he is important to Uruguay, but I think those are just games where they're just gonna have to be like Luis Suarez. How much can you give us? Uh, so it's either that or just another Uruguayan could just step up and take over that striker position. But um, you know, because I do think that they're going to, as far as Darwin Nunez, because you know, missing Darwin Nunez for the Ecuador and Colombia game, as well as Bentaker, I think those are two huge losses going into the Ecuador and Colombia game because I think Paraguay, Venezuela, and Peru are we're gonna miss these guys, but I think we can manage it with these guys. You know, so I think that's where I'm thinking of for that part. But yeah, it's you got to punish them. I don't think I would ever like say do not punish the Orion players like they were. It was out of line. Despite of what the sentiment was, it still needed to be addressed and still need to be punished to them. But we're gonna see how deep Uruguay is. I think that's the one thing we'll take from it is how deep is this Uruguayan squad and can they manage in these next 3 to 5 matches without some of their players. Um, Luckily, you're gonna have Araujo and Jimenez back for that Ecuador Colombia game, so I think that's a good thing. Well, as far as the suspensions, I think that because those, like I said, Ecuador and Colombia to me is the most important ones because those are gonna be very defining matches. Venezuela obviously has gotten increasingly better, but Colombia and Ecuador, I think, are two that you don't want to lose your best players in. So, I think positively wise, getting Ronald Araujo and Jose Maria Jimenez back for that match, though I'm not entirely sure because for that call up, do you call these two up, and knowing you're not going to play them in Peru, but play them in Ecuador? I think that's like, how do you go about it with that? Maybe they don't call them up at all because you're only going to be able to use them for one game. But that one game is Ecuador. So I think I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Bielsa manages Uruguay for those international breaks, man, because it's gonna be interesting to see the rotation for the team and who steps up during these suspensions for sure. Maybe Uruguay ends up trying to uh fight the suspensions and try to minimize the punishments. I don't know yet. I haven't read anything up on it. It seems like Uruguay is just accepting it, and so that's all I gotta say for that.